Well, this is one of my favorite questions. I live outside of Aspen, Colorado. And I have an office down in the metropolitan Denver area, and I work all over the country. In Aspen, we have people of extraordinary wealth. We also have a goodly number of what I call high rollers, who are not quite what they appear to be. And often is a circumstance at our local little airport where they can crowd in about 160 private jets in the high season as a tourist area. And there'll be some debtor who says, I own nothing, I control nothing, but you know that Gulf Stream that's landing right now, somehow it magically appears whenever I need a lift. Well, that's an indicia of a fraudulent conveyance or an indicator of a badge of fraud. So there are 9 to 11 of them, and I'll detail them in a moment. But if I see a series of fraudulent conveyances, and a fellow's making a business of this sort of thing, and you're not his only target, I sometimes can actually increase the size of your judgment. So how do I do that? Well, you have a judgment. That gives me a hunting license to go after assets. If I see a fraudulent conveyance, I file a separate suit to set aside the conveyance and reach the asset, and oftentimes assert a liability against additional persons who got the asset. In addition, if I see a series of these transactions, I can then assert a claim for a pattern of racketeering activity under state or federal statutes. This does a couple of things. If successful, it labels the wrongdoers as racketeers, and no one seems to be fond of that label for obvious reasons. It tends to interfere with their ongoing business endeavors. But second, it automatically gives me a recovery of 3 times the amount of the damage you have suffered or your claim. So I can magnify it by an order of 3 under those particular circumstances. In addition, it affords us a recovery of attorney's fees and costs. Depending how your particular judgment reads, you may or may not be entitled to recover your post-judgment attorney's fees.